In this video, we're going to practice solving second order homogeneous differential equations. And we're going to practice using the three different sets of solutions to our auxiliary equation. We're also going to practice using some what are called boundary conditions to find particular solutions. So as a reminder, if that's our differential equation, then our auxiliary equation is just am squared plus bm plus c equals 0. We've got our three cases. Two distinct real roots, that's our solution, where alpha and beta are the roots of that auxiliary. Repeated roots with a single solution alpha, that's our solution. And complex roots of the form p plus or minus qi, that's our solution. You need a reminder, go back a video and have a little check of that. So let's put that into practice and solve this one here. So let's form our auxiliary equation, which is 9m squared plus 6m plus 1 equals 0. Solving this, we get a repeated root of m equals minus a third. So, looking down here for reference, the form of our solution is y equals a plus bx. That's an arbitrary linear term, y equals a plus bx, multiplied by e to the alpha x, where this is alpha, e to the minus 1/3 x. And so there's the general solution to that differential equation. Now let's add some boundary conditions. We're now given that y equals 1 and dy by dx is 0 when x equals 0. So let's find the particular solution. So we know that the general solution is y equals a plus bx times e to the minus a third x. So we've been given information about y and dy by dx. So let's find dy by dx. So this is going to be product rule. Here's my u, here's my v. So it's going to be u v dash, and the derivative of that is minus a third e to the minus a third x plus u dash v. And the derivative of this is just b, and then we have e to the minus a third x. So we've been told that y is 1 when x is 0. So let's sub that into this one. That gives us 1 equals, now when x equals 0, we have a plus b times 0, so that's just a, times e to the power of 0, which is 1, so a is 1. Now we can go to this one and find b, because we know that dy by dx is 0 when x is 0. So 0 equals, so that's minus a third, a is 1, and then b is, b times 0 is 0, and then e to the power of 0 is 1. So that's just that. Then we've got plus b times e to the 0, which is 1, so that's just b. So what we have is minus a third plus b equals 0, so b is a third. And so the answer to this, the particular solution, is y equals 1 plus a third x multiplied by e to the power of minus a third x. There's our particular solution. Now it would be quite fun playing around with this in GeoGebra. I've set up some sliders here. So I've got an a and a b. And if I put in our general solution, which is y equals a plus bx multiplied by e to the power of minus a third x, we get something that looks like this. And you can see that as I play around with different values of a and b, I get very different looking families of curves. Now the solution that we found was a equals 1 and b is minus a third, so something like that. Now you can see that whatever values I set for a and b, it's always tending towards 0, and that's because the e to the minus a third bit will just reduce anything down to 0 in the end. It's quite nice to just play around and see all the different kind of shapes we get and what the effect of these different coefficients actually is. All right, let's try another one. 3 d2y by dx squared minus dy by dx minus 4y equals 0. And we've been given the boundary condition. So we're going to solve the whole thing now and find a particular solution. So it's 3m squared minus m minus 4 equals 0. I'm certainly going to do this on my calculator. 3 minus 1 minus 4 gives solutions of two real solutions, 4/3 and minus 1. So the general solution is y equals a times e to the 4/3 x plus b e to the minus x. And now I'm going to use these boundary conditions to find a and b. So I'll differentiate this, because I'll certainly need that. dy by dx here is 4/3 a e to the 4/3 x, and then minus b e to the minus x. So using this first one, y equals 0 when x is 0. So that's going to give me 0 equals a e to the 0, so that's just a, plus b e to the 0, and that's just b. So a plus b is 0. dy by dx is 1 when x is 0. So 1 equals 4/3 a times e to the 0, so that's just 4/3 a, minus b times e to the 0, so that's just minus b. And we've got really simple simultaneous equations. Solve these on a calculator if you like. I'm just going to add these together and get 1 equals 7/3 a, and the b's cancel, so a is 3/7, and therefore b must be minus 3/7. And the general solution of this differential equation is y equals 3/7 e to the 4/3 x minus 3/7 e to the minus x. And there's our general solution there. And here I've just plotted that in GeoGebra, and you can see it has the conditions we needed. It's got x is 0 and y is 0, and it seems to have a gradient of 1 there. And you'll notice it looks a little bit like a shine curve as well, which is nice, and that's basically because it's some e to the positive x's and minus some e to the minus x's. It looks a little bit like shine, even though it's not exactly shine. But it's nice to graph these to see what they look like. Okay, let's try another example here. So our auxiliary equation is m squared plus 4m plus 13 equals 0. So let's solve this one for 13, and we're getting complex solutions here. So minus 2 plus or minus 3i. Okay, recall that for complex solutions, our general solution is going to look like y equals, well, it's e to the real bit times x, and then it's any amount of cos, and 3 because that's the imaginary part, plus any amount of sine of the imaginary part times x. So that's our general solution. We also have this, y equals 2 and dy by dx equals minus 7 when x is 0. So let's find dy by dx. Bit of a mouthful here. This is product rule, so let's do uv. So it's u v dash, so that gives us minus 3a sine 3x plus 3b cos 3x. That's u v dash, now we want u dash v. So u dash is minus 2e to the minus 2x, and then a cos 3x, this is the v bit, b sine 3x. Okay, let's form some equations using these boundary conditions. So this one means that y equals 2 when x equals 0. 2 equals e to the 0 is 1, and then we've got a times cos 0, which is a, and b times sine 0, which is 0, so a is 2. For this one, we have dy by dx is minus 7 when x is 0, so minus 7 equals e to the 0 is 1. Inside the bracket, sine 0 is 0, so that's gone. And we've got 3b times cos 0. Cos 0 is 1, so that's 3b. Then this bracket here, there's a minus 2 times e to the 0, minus 2. Inside the bracket, we have a times cos of 0, which is just a is 2. And then plus b times sine 0, which is 0. So this is what we get. So that's 4 minus 4, add 4 to both sides, minus 3 equals 3b, and therefore b is minus 1. This means the particular solution is y equals e to the minus 2x, and then it's a cos 3x, a is 2, so that's 2 cos 3x, b is minus 1, so minus sine 3x. Plotted in GeoGebra, just fun, we get this. Now what's going on here? Well, because of the trig part, we've got this oscillation. When the e to the minus 2x is big, because x is negative, we can see the oscillations, but they just get almost too big to see. If I shrink this down, you'll see that there are these enormous oscillations here. And then what's happening over on this side is the oscillations continue, but they're basically getting crushed or dampened by the e to the minus 2x. This is something we will explore in more detail later. But it's nice to see that that makes sense, right? The e to the minus 2x is just dampening out the oscillations of the trig. Okay, so that is how we solve homogeneous second order differential equations. And I'll see you in the next video for non-homogeneous. See you there.